Welcome, 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 one and all, the first ever live stream of Red and Red Real Reviews here on the Nutmeg 2 Palmetto YouTube and Rumble channels. Uh, Red, how we doing?
The show is actually going by pretty fast. I was like, 3 hours, but it's going by pretty fast, which
Yeah,
isn't a bad thing.
yeah. There, we were kind of hoping that they would just kind of like chug out the TV categories because that's our primary thing we cover,
Mm,
and we just have to wait on the big picture stuff. So we're only waiting on one acting category left to be revealed, be announced, I should say. So there's some. Which ones? Let's talk. Let's get the ones they announced first out of the way right away because uh, I was living under a rock apparently, and I saw all the anthology nominees. I'm like, okay, there's a couple that we actually did cover on the show, so maybe we'll have something to talk about that we already talked about more in depth. And sure enough, both acting categories went to beef.
yeah.
I'm thinking like beef. Ali Wong, Best Actress, and Stephen Young, Best Actor. Of course, when I see Stephen Young win, I'm thinking Glenn.
Oh, is he from Walking Dead?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Glenn.
okay. I don't even watch Walking Dead, but
I haven't
y-
watched it in years. I've actually haven't watched it since not too long after Glenn died.
well, the one thing I will say about Beef is Ali Wong's character, like totally witch, like which would it be? Like she's just like so annoying and like the thing about his character, I forget what the name of his character is, the first name, but his character is actually like yes, like despicable, does bad things, but is actually redeemable to me, but hers is not at all.
What was the kind of theme of the show? Because I could, like I said, I was kind of living under a rock.
Basically, these two get in this they randomly meet because of road rage. So, they get in a little I don't think it's like a car accident, but they have a little moment where they're like, "Oh, like you a-hole," like, like when they're driving, and then they basically their both of their mission is just to make each other miserable. Like they invade each other's lives. Like they're like, "Oh, that's the guy that cut me off." Like it's crazy. It's like road rage taken to the nth degree.
Um, the one thing I found funny, and how I missed whether he said he was comparing the plot of this show or just talking about something else. But when Stephen Young walks up, he says he was like something feels this feels like the plot of Frozen, and then he referenced it to like family movie night with his daughter, and I got a little kick out of that. I'm like
Yeah,
oh
I actually didn't hear what he said before. It sounds like the plot of Frozen. Like I didn't but it was a funny joke, but I don't remember exactly what he said.
yeah. Now the one thing I was like, now I can't speak directly because I didn't watch it, but at the same time, like I the only thing I was kind of head scratcher with Ali Wong winning is the fact that we did cover lessons of chemistry, and Brie Larson did do a phenomenal job. So I was my nose kind of was bent out of shape a little
Um,
bit over the fact that Brie Larson did not win.
which one was that? That was female actor in a limited
That
series.
was the anthology series. That was the same category Ali Wong won.
Yeah, who else was nominated?
I couldn't think of the other actresses didn't stand out to
Oh,
me.
I think it was wasn't Daisy Jones,
Yes,
Elvis's Riley Keough, and
and I think was that the Rachel Weisz category too? Or yeah, Rachel Weisz
yeah,
was in
I'm trying
that
to
category as
oh
well.
yeah, Juno Temple wasn't there.
Hmm.
They showed her picture. Rachel Weisz, they showed her picture. There was a couple others. Oh, Elizabeth Olsen. I did
Yes.
watch that show that she was in.
Do you think that com- comparatively speaking to the other roles, do you think not to coin the phrase, but like justice was handed out a little bit better?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I didn't see Juno Temple and I didn't see Rachel Weisz, but I did think, Elizabeth Olsen could have deserved it. Like Brie Larson could have deserved it. And like, I don't know if it's just my bias because Ali Wong's character was just like very unlikable. Like, I don't know if that's what it was for me. Like, yes, she was good at being unlikable. Maybe that's the thing, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I was
that,
just kind
that
of annoyed by her.
there's something to be said by that. If you grow to hate somebody, then somebody obviously did a good job making you hate them.
Yeah, yeah. I think she did a good job of making me despise her. So
Yeah. Speaking of someone, a character that to despise, I found, and it was funny because he did call his character out. Um, th- Thank you for making me portray the human grease stain that is Tom. I can't think of the character's last name, but Tom in
well,
Succession, Matthew
oh,
McFadden, um,
yeah. What is his
Wob, Wobbinger or something like that.
Lamin? I can't remember
Yeah,
it.
the human grease stain, and so Matthew McFadden won for his portrayal of Tom in best supporting actor in
Hmm.
TV. Which I noticed the supporting categories. It's not broken out to drama or musical or comedy. It's just TV.
Yeah, that's true.
um,
That's true.
but I mean that would be a situation to me where the character is someone that you hate because he's a slime ball. He's always like jumping around different sides, playing whatever is playing whatever side is best for him in this whole Roy Waystar kind of
I did kind of root
power
for him in
struggle
a way, though. Like I don't know. It was
because he wasn't a Roy by
I
blood at
don't
least.
know. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's not a clear. It's hard to. It's like a Walter White kind of thing where it's like they're not a great person, but there's something in you that kind of roots for them for some reason. Like you're not really like you kind of feel like they're the least of the
Lesser
worries,
evil.
kind of. But I mean that kind of ended up being the opposite of the what happened. He kind of ended up being a lot smarter and a lot more manipulative than people thought he was.
Oh yeah, and he aligned himself to the rest of the board and just kind of stabbed the Roy family in the back, and which was funny at the end because of course then Shiv, who's playing the strong independent woman the whole time, just kind of shuffles back over and plays wife to her husband now that he's the only one left in power from this whole family.
Yeah, I saw when he won, he kind of like touched her on the shoulder or something and I was like, "Oh, like his TV wife is kind of congratulating him." But that was I was hoping for in those categories. I was hoping for the shows that it's the last season to win. Unfortunately, uh, they didn't
Well,
win for Ted Lasso for Best Actor, but
this is
uh,
this is still best supporting actor, and
yeah. So he won
in
for
this
Best
case that would be
Supporting.
true.
Yeah, and then didn't Kieran Culkin win something?
Yes, he won Best Actor TV Drama, also for Roman. Which Roman, I found it so funny when he came up and he starts doing his thank you speech. I'm
Yeah,
like, he is exactly Roman Roy in real life. Kieran Culkin
he
is
really
Roman Roy.
is. He really is. Yeah. Yeah, I was a little confused because I think it was Kieran Culkin was up against Brian the father. What's the actor's name?
Brian Cox, which there was actually of the what was it? One, two,
Yeah, and
three,
wasn't it
four, five,
Kendall too?
six.
Jeremy, what's his face?
Jeremy Strong. Yeah, out of the six nominees for the Best Actor category, three of them were from Succession.
Yeah. So I was kind of hoping that someone in Succession got it, and I was happy for the Best Actress that Elizabeth Debicki from The Crown got it since it was the last season of The Crown. I was kind of hoping that all of these last season shows would get something before they're off the air and it's goodbye forever. So
Yeah. And which is funny because like in that case with Best Actor, I'm thinking like when you've got three actors from the same show in one category, I almost kind of think like maybe it's just me being a sports fan, like they take votes away from each other. Like how does somebody how do a group the voters look at three people from the same show all in the same category and decide like, okay, well who's really the lead here? It's like somebody could say like, okay, yeah, I want to vote for somebody from Succession, but one person thinks it's Roman, another person thinks it's Kendall, another person thinks it's Logan. So you
well,
got
yeah, I mean it's easier when it's a supporting actor nominee supporting a supporting a lead actor nominee, like Killian Murphy won for Oppenheimer for Best Actor, and then Robert Downey Jr. won for Best Supporting Actor for Oppenheimer. So that's nice, but yeah, I think it puts the actors in kind of an awkward position when they're nominated for the same award and they're against each other when
yeah.
they've just worked on something. And I mean, I think that was the case with did we see it yet? I thought that was the case with Selena Gomez was against Meryl Streep, wasn't she?
Uh,
And then
no, they were not. They were those were different. That was Best Actress TV Musical Comedy, Best Supporting Actress TV.
I thought I saw that somebody from Only Murders in the Building, was it Martin Short and Steve Martin are both
Yes.
nominated?
Yeah.
Which I guess that kind of makes sense. They're probably used to not being pitted against each other, but they're probably used to being in the same category. That's probably not the first time it's happened. Oh,
Is that Billie
Billy
Eilish?
Eilish just won for best song from a movie. I'm like very disappointed because that means that Peaches from Super Mario didn't win. And then, well,
I
there were two songs nominated from Barbie. So Billie Eilish's song won. It's like a slow song, and then the I Am Ken or I'm Just Ken with Ryan Gosling, which is like decently funny. It's like well written, I guess. But I really wished Peaches would have won.
I I will disagree with you on that because I've heard that song way too many times, and
Peaches,
it gets more annoying every time I hear it.
but it gets in your head so bad, and you have it in your head for like 3 days.
Exactly. That's why I don't like it.
I loved that song.
It just like pops up and it'll just keep going and keep going. It's like, no, go away. I wasn't even
It's
thinking
just
about the movie.
it's so brilliant. I really wish it won. So I was just looking at that, but they're kind of giving away what we call the boring
Yeah,
sorry awards right now.
that's a good time to go live, I guess.
Yeah.
We can actually skip over to Best Supporting Actress because you invoked that a couple minutes ago, and you'll have to carry this one because The Crown is something I never got on the bandwagon with, and 6 seasons in, I was not about to
Well,
start.
basically, this lady Elizabeth Debicki, she not only looked like Princess Diana, she like the mannerisms were insane. So she deserved it because she had to have done so much coaching and meeting with a specialist about movement and things like that. So she deserved it for sure.
And that's so that is it was Princess Diana the focal part of that series?
No, but
Okay. I was about to say that's weird to have the actress play Princess Diana and be a supporting role.
yeah, I mean, it's just about the crown is just about the royal family, so there's not. I mean, I, obviously in it, like William and Harry are in their teenage years, so like they're not really main characters. Like the main characters are like the Queen and not even Philip really at all, but Prince Charles, the guy, Dominic, what's his face?
Oh, is that who Dominic West played?
Dominic West.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, Dominic West. And and then Princess Diana. Like even when the time that they were divorced, like she was still in the show. So in this season of The Crown and the previous season, they had another actress that played a younger Diana, like in her 20s. So she was like the 30s Diana. And I think she did a really excellent job. Like she looks just like her. It's crazy.
like eerie almost.
It is eerie. It really is.
The only one, I mean, that one I never got on. I mean, maybe just because I don't really have any, never,
It can be a
never in
little
my
slow
life
at
been.
times.
Well, I
Yeah, and
also have never had any interest to follow the royal family. Um,
yeah, I see. I'm kind of interested in the royal family stuff. Like ever since Kate married William, I've been like kind of interested in yeah, like 2011. I've been kind of interested in royal family stuff. Not as much as like the Queen, but and that's another thing is Imelda Staunton. They didn't do best female actress in a TV drama, but she played the Queen, and she was also fantastic.
oh, okay, I got you. That would, I guess, then that would make sense. Why the queen is in the best actress category.
Yes, so she, I guess they did consider her the main character, like, which I guess makes sense, but
Yeah, I mean, do you think that that was the right choice? Because there's some Yellow Jackets I haven't gotten around to watch. The Bear I only watched the pilot, and before I ran out of juice last night. Um, so the only ones I've seen are obviously Succession, which I don't really, well, supporting, which I don't. Jerry kind of was, I don't want to say a useful idiot type of character, but I never really liked the Jerry character.
she wasn't really, I think Margot Robbie just won for best actress in a musical or comedy.
Hmm.
I I don't know. I didn't think Barbie was that good. Did you see Barbie?
I did not. If they made a feature picture on like uh, Mighty Max or something like that, or something that was based off a toy that boys play with as a kid, then I probably would have run.
Well, they have made a GI Joe movie. It didn't do so well, but
Oh, that's true. No, yes, and I did see all the GI Joes, and they were terrible.
no, Barbie was just it was just disappointing. And I'm not saying that Margot Robbie's not a great actress, because she is, but I just didn't really think that that role was like anything meaty for her. It just, it wasn't really that miraculous. I said it.
Well, I mean, let's just look at the choice of casting. They between her and Ryan Gosling. Let's be realistic. They probably cast them both because they're these prototypical, pretty kind of plastic beauty type of people. So
Well, I think Margot Robbie also produced, or she had something to do behind the scenes with Barbie, but she was like, I also would like to play her. So I think they considered her for that, which, I mean, she's gorgeous, like it makes sense, but I don't know, as far as like versus the other nominees, I just it her role just wasn't really that much compared to other nominees. So I'm honestly quite surprised that she won.
yeah. Um, and then the other categories in Best Supporting Actress for TV. The other one, of course, we're both big fans of Ted Lasso. I mean, I would have loved if Hannah Waddington
Me too.
won.
Yeah, she especially with that, that being the last season of Ted Lasso too. I would have loved for her to have won. But
Yeah, because
yeah,
Jason Sudeikis has won before, but she had not.
yes, he
Yeah.
won I think during COVID. 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years, or maybe I'm thinking of Emmys. Honestly, I don't know. I remember him winning a big award, and he was like wearing a hoodie because he was on Zoom or something, giving an acceptance speech in like a tie dye hoodie or something. I remember this very distinctly.
That's so Jason Sudeikis it hurts.
Yeah, I love him.
Um,
He liked my tweet one time. I was tweeting about Ted Lasso, and he liked my. I was like, oh my god. And I feel like he's one of those people who like you don't really think is like attractive until you do, and you're just like, man, he's actually very attractive.
Mm.
Like you just don't he's kind of like plain, like you don't really consider it. And then I don't know, for some reason, like I don't even like mustaches, but just I think just also the character that he plays in Ted Lasso, like just a wholesome, like good person, like I think it helps make him look more attractive potentially.
And the fact that Ted Lasso's character is someone that is trying to figure out something that they know nothing about, but they still through their own kind of just genuineness as a human being, they find a way to make it work because just finding whatever threads of commonality that there are to fill in the gaps of lack of technical knowledge. Or
Yeah,
something.
and he had his issues like with anxiety and with alcohol, but he never was one of those characters who like frustrates you or annoys you so badly, like where you just want to shake them. Because I've seen a, I don't know, for some reason I'll say I have zero patience when it comes to characters with substance or alcohol abuse. Like I have no patience. I'm like, oh my god, get your act together. Like the character Allison from She Spells It My Way too, from The Affair on Showtime, actually with Dominic West, and he was kind of a jerk on that show. But the woman who played Allison, I was like, oh my god, Allison, get your act together. I can't deal with you. Like, uh
That's great. What else we got here? We didn't really talk about Best Actor in TV, Music, or Comedy yet. So the winner of that, Jeremy Allen White for The Bear. Like I said, I don't. I've only watched the pilot of this so far. I was a little through one episode though. I was a little odd that this is considered a comedy. Um,
it will, so here's the weird thing. It is a drama, obviously, and the second season is just as good as the first season. Like you need to watch that at some point because that show is amazing. And also, I was really sad because it's hard when there are so many nominees, but the guy who was nominated from The Bear for Best Supporting Actor,
it's his
he
cousin.
was he was so good, so good, and I wish he would have won because he was phenomenal. It's a great ensemble cast, and so it is mostly a drama, but there is a Christmas episode in the second season, and it seems like there are a lot of people that come from comedy. So even Jeremy Allen White, he came from Shameless, which kind of is considered a comedy slash drama. And then Abby, what's her face? She was a member of SNL several years ago,
Oh,
and
was she? Okay.
yeah, and then in this Christmas episode, they have like Carmi's family. That's Jeremy Allen White's character, and they have all these like random like comedians that are featured as part of his family, kind of playing a dramatic role because it's like all about a dysfunctional family. And yeah, that's what's kind of interesting is it's like a drama script, but they kind of put some comedic actors in it and kind of let them flex their dramatic muscle.
Yeah, kind of like the what I always like to liken to Bradley Cooper's transformation from The Hangover. I think to all these serious roles.
Yeah. You kind of forget that he came from there. And like he was in that really bad comedy with Sandra Bullock, something about like All About Steve, or the hell was that called?
Oh,
It
Sandra.
might have been either just before or just after The Hangover.
Oh, okay.
And don't forget he was the jerk from Wedding Crashers.
Was yeah, he was.
He's come a long way, hasn't he?
Yeah, I was just trying to think of I was just trying to think of one of his asshole lines, and I can't think of one. The only one I can think of is crab cakes and football, but that wasn't his line.
Yeah, he was such a douchebag in that movie.
Yeah, I think I do think of when he's at the wedding when Owen Wilson goes to break up the wedding at the end, and Claire stands up and he's like, yeah, sit down, sit down.
Yeah, he's always like, "Come on, Claire." Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I remember him like saying her name all the time.
Um. So as
Oh, oh,
far Mhm. there was
limited
another, yeah,
series,
another
anthology, or TV.
beef.
This is one of the last three categories.
The last ones of TV stuff that we're
You know
waiting.
what? I wouldn't mind if Daisy Jones won because that was great. Lessons in Chemistry was great.
Yeah.
I think
What
Beef was also.
talk now? Like, obviously the only one I saw here was Lessons in Chemistry. So and beef we already discussed a little bit. So what are the other three? Daisy Jones and the other two, All the Light We Cannot See, and
Oh,
Four
Beef won.
Travelers. Do you or did you those out of those three? Like, what did you see? I know you just said you saw Daisy Jones, but of the other, did you see either of the other two? What did you
I
think of?
did not see Fellow Travelers, and I did not see. Was there one I didn't see?
The other two are All the Light We Cannot See, and
Oh, that one I did see.
okay,
I
what
did see All the Light We Cannot See.
I did see All the Light We Cannot
That
See.
was a great one too with Hugh Laurie.
House.
Yeah, Hugh Laurie.
Ah, excellent. I love House. Um, well, we did talk about beef already, so I mean, I guess that
Well,
should just
they have three awards already. I'm not sure how much they were nominated for, but they weren't one. I think Barbie was nominated
House.
for the most.
The cleaned house. I mean, as far I mean, I only really focus on the TV stuff, and those are the three that they're in. Those they won all three of them.
True, but I mean, I don't know. The way I think about it, like, after these award shows, of course you have the SAG awards, you have the Oscars and all that. I mean, of course Oscars aren't TV, but after you have all these award shows, like these limited series, they're just kind of gone. Like how many people are going to go back and watch a limited series after it's kind of past its heyday? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because at least like when it's a running series, if it's one of those series that's kind of stands the test of time, it's an all time great show. People will go back and binge it again,
Mm,
especially when they don't have that when they need to kill some time. They don't have anything to watch in the meantime. But
right.
like, yeah, you're right. With when it comes to a limited series, once it's done, it's done. And I
Oh,
mean,
it's musical or comedy best TV series. I did not see Abbott Elementary.
I did not either. I only just saw
That's been on
start.
for quite a few seasons, I thought.
Oh, that's not a new show.
Oh, Barry. Barry is.
Barry, yeah, Barry we both just binged through recently.
Ah, Barry was excellent.
Jury Duty, I know you binged through. I watched a couple
Yes.
episodes this morning. The Bear, you've seen. I started to watch. I started watching the pilot. Um, and then I think we've got good representation on best TV series drama because the only one I haven't seen is The Crown, and you've ripped through that.
Yeah.
And
So they'll
the morning show, I quit early, but you kept going. So
they'll do that one last. I
yeah,
kind of hope for comedy. Oh, Ted Lasso. Last chance for Ted Lasso for a comedy. Let's see what
yeah.
happens. I
That
hope I
so
get it.
that hasn't won the. Wait, did the Bear just win? I think the Bear just won.
Oh yeah. I probably have a little bit of a I probably have like a 30-second delay. Yeah,
Uh,
I mean it again, I don't really feel like it's a comedy.
I don't either. And again, like I've only watched one episode, but you're caught up with it. So the fact that you have that same opinion.
And I thought too that there was like something that was nominated for best movie for a musical or comedy that like really I swear it was like that May December movie which I did watch and that is not comedy at all. There was something that was really off base, and I was like, why is this nominated? I want to say it was that one, but it just didn't make any sense to me.
Um, what we didn't really get too. We kind of like touched around this one a little bit, but we didn't really go too deep in the weeds. For best actor in a musical or comedy, Jeremy Allen White did win,
Mm.
but there was a lot of. I think there was a lot of good representation here. Now I did not see Only Murders in the Building. Uh, but Barry had just been here recently. I did watch Shrinking, and of course, I've seen Ted Lasso. Did you see Shrinking as well?
Yes,
Yeah,
Shrinking was good.
that was a loaded category. And I mean, I can tell just off of one episode that Jeremy Allen White definitely was a deserving character, but I mean, obviously, if Jason Sudeikis has won one already, he wasn't going to get another one. But I was really impressed by Jason Segel on that. Like, he's another one, a kind of a silly actor that doesn't really do a lot of dramas. And this was a comedy, but it had a lot of serious undertones to it.
Yeah, I that one was I had to give it a couple episodes before I at first I was not into it. I had to give it 2 or 3 episodes before I started liking it. But well, I mean, I think it's good that a lot of these shows that have been around and were in their last season swept up a couple awards. Like I feel like Jason Segel will have his moment either next year, or you know what I mean. I did think he was good in Shrinking, but I was like, okay, let's let one of these guys who this is their last hurrah with this show, like let's let them win, please.
Yeah,
And um, these other people will have their moment because I mean, this is not a limited series category, so they'll hopefully go on to have more seasons and they can have a chance to win next time.
yeah. Although I will say, Shrinking felt a little like a limited series. Um,
No, I think it's yeah, it is a little surprising that Harrison Ford decided to do TV. That was a little surprising. I also love him in that. I don't really know much about him outside of that, but he's hilarious, and like I love his dynamic with Jason Segel and the other girl in that show. I can't remember her name.
Indiana
The
Jones. Come on, Red. Don't tell me you don't
the
know
actress's
Harrison Ford.
name. What?
Don't tell me you don't know Harrison Ford. Indiana Jones. Come
No, you know what I mean. Like I don't really like. I don't. It kind of like I've seen him go on like Conan and late night shows and stuff, and he's kind of funny. Like I don't know if that character is him kind of playing himself a little bit,
on. I could
maybe.
kind of see that. I will say, because one of my friends growing up, his grandmother pl- um, played alongside Harrison Ford in the Sabrina remake, and I will, from what I recall, and I was a little kid, from what I recall, because obviously I'm growing up being a big Indiana Jones Star Wars fan, so I'm kind of like, oh, Harrison Ford, oh my God, you know. And I guess he wasn't exactly the nicest person on set.
I could see him being a little bit like abrupt or serious or something if he's kind of focused on what he's doing. But yeah, it just seems like him and Shrinking is a whole different other thing.
Yeah, and of course the other one to touch on, I guess, is Bill Hader, who was masterful in Barry, I thought. But I found it weird in the last season. I kind of lost a little interest in the last season because the last season didn't feel like a comedy. Like the first, even season three as well. Like the first two seasons of Barry felt like a comedy with dark undertones, and the last two seasons felt like a dark drama with a little zinger or one liner here and there.
I think it's yeah, it is meant to be a dark comedy, and but there were just so many good little bits. Do you watch the whole thing?
Yes, yep, it's done.
The just things were so clever, like the way that they were written. Like you're dealing with criminals, you're dealing with the drug trade, you're like all these different like murder, like all these different things, and I thought it was hysterical when Barry was tasked with blowing up that house and he had to call support for the detonate app. that that was like one of the best bits I've ever seen in a comedy show ever. Like hilarious. Just the fact that they came up with this whole, Hank says, "Oh, you're going to use the Detonate app," and then he calls support and he's on hold and they're like, "Oh, well, do you have the latest version on your phone of the app?" And he's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh, did you like restart your phone?" "Yeah."
The other
And like, "Oh, sorry, I got to put you on hold." And then it's, talking about some other explosive device or something on hold. Like that was phenomenal. And I know Bill Hader writes, I don't think he writes like every episode, but I think he also directs. So he directs and he writes a lot of those episodes.
the other scene I thought was similar to that was early on when he's the first time he's trying to step away from the hitman life, but he goes back to Hank to do that to take out the job of that overset Bolivian guy,
Mhm.
and he's sitting there on top of a little overlook, and he's got it. He's got him in his sights. He's like he's ready to take the shot, and Hank calls and he's like, "Oh, the bullet's not there. We need to kill him with a Bolivian bullet." It's like, well, where's the bullet? Oh, I ordered it DHL. It's right here on www.dhl.com. It is in transit. It's on its way. I really appreciate if you waited for the bullet to arrive. I'm like, why would you DHL a bullet?
Yeah, there were so many moments that were just so like slapstick almost, just like so ridiculous, with the things that they're dealing with and the comedy that just ensued.
This
What
is
did you while I'm looking at him on the screen, what did you think of Joe Coy,
Joe Coy.
the host?
Oh, that's who that was. I didn't know his name.
Oh, you've never I know because Mike has. I've watched one of his stand-ups.
Oh, okay.
He's a well-known stand-up. Used to date Chelsea Handler.
Oh, okay. I have enjoyed his bits a little bit. I actually do have not any of his, but I do have some funny quotes written down from the winners.
Oh my God. When he said I think his best thing was when he said the thing about, Robert De Niro's achievement being having a baby at 80 years old. And Robert De Niro was actually genuinely laughing like hard. I was like, this is phenomenal. And then there was something else he said right after that somebody was laughing at.
There's
I can't remember what it was. Like a minute or two after that, he said something else that was pretty funny. But I don't know. It kind of seems like online. I was just like scrolling on social media, and some people are like, "Oh, he's so unfunny. Get him out of there." But the only person I feel that way about as far as award shows is Trevor Noah. I think he's terrible.
oh
He
I can't
hosted the
stand
Grammys or something, and I was like, ugh. And he's hosting again. He was awful.
and he's everything about him is so forced.
It's so
Um,
forced. It's so unfunny. Yeah, and
well, you know why they love him though, because he's super woke.
yes, he is. And he female actor
Yep,
for TV, Helen Mirren.
yep. Here we go. I'll keep my mouth shut because I think I'm
I
a winner before you.
I hope she doesn't win for The Last of Us.
Oh, you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna like it anyway.
Oh, does Sarah Snook win?
Yep.
Yeah, feel like well, Emma Stone, jury's kind of out on that show because it's kind of weird and it's not that good. So
I'm actually.
I would have been happy with 4 of the 6 winning it.
Yeah. We'll hold on. Just wanted to update our little
But
live.
a fellow redhead won, so that's nice.
That's right. We didn't. This show was over before we started our show, so we didn't get to touch and do a little ginger homage.
Yeah.
Um, so that's so I think all other than the curse, I think we touched on all of these. I mean, I the only other one besides her I probably would have been happy with is Helen Mirren. uh, like I thought Bella Ramsey was phenomenal in The Last of Us, up until the end when it got a little over the deep end with the wokeness. Uh,
Yeah, I
up until that point, I was a big fan of Bella Ramsey's job in that. It just kind of ended in a bad way for
I
me.
don't know when people bring in the non-binary thing, that's when I become uninterested because I'm like, how can you be non-binary and play a binary character? Yeah, it's
And
kind of awkward for people.
especially
Um,
when it's a kid.
right. Yeah. No, I would have been happy with Helen Mirren. There's one or two others I would have been happy with too that I thought
I'm
deserved it.
I'm kind of jury's out on Carrie Russell in The Diplomat, only because the only part of her role in that show that I found like really really captivating was her interaction with Hal, her husband.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm sure they'll renew that show, but I'm a little surprised like a first season show was nominated like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not a limited series. Like they're probably going to have another season.
Oh, they have to the way it ended.
Right, right. Yeah, it was quite a cliffhanger, but I yeah, I don't know. Yeah, again, not that I think Carrie Russell is bad because I don't think she's bad at all, but I just was a little bit surprised that that's what they chose. Like, was a first season show
Mm-hmm.
for the big award.
Yeah, that's oh, we're gonna get the big category now too. We're gonna get best TV series drama.
Oh yeah, wasn't 1923?
1923, The Crown, The Diplomat, The Last of Us, The Morning Show, and Succession.
Morning Show doesn't deserve it.
No, oh, we can get into that. We can get into that after we find out who wins.
I hope they don't win.
Oh, no, I don't. I don't think I could deal with that. I don't think I could deal with that.
They are supposed to do another season of 1923.
I think they could. Uh,
I think I heard that they did say that they renewed it, but they didn't say when that they were going to come out with a new season.
which is so weird to me because I feel like these Yellowstone prequels are like only specifically meant to be the year they focus on and then go to another year and another done.
Right. Yeah, it just seems like they didn't pack in the first season what they needed to because that ended on quite a cliffhanger. Like with 1883 they
Oh yeah.
wrapped it up a little more.
Yeah, there's so much more of Spencer's story to unpack.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think there's more. I don't know, maybe the Crown will win just cuz it was their last hurrah.
I'd be curious also to know, um, like if there's another generation of dying in between Spencer and John.
I don't know.
Like, is Spencer John's father? Because like I was kind of like doing the rough math in my head. But
Maybe.
if John's in his 60s in 2018, that means he was born in the mid 40s, and Spencer's what, late late 20s, early 30s in 1923.
I thought that there was some sort of connection with um 1883 or something.
I think Spencer is Tim McGraw's character's son because there's a scene in Yellowstone because I recently watched it again. Um, one of the flashbacks where they show Tim McGraw's character, he talks to his son, and I caught obviously when I saw it the first time, it didn't mean anything to me, but watched it the second time, he refers to his son as Spencer. So,
Oh.
having seen 1923 at that point, I'll put two and two together. Um, so there, Spencer is definitely direct direct down from the 1923 generations is definitely direct down from the 1883
Yes.
generations, but I'm a little curious to know because like the the years and the ages don't necessarily make sense in my head.
I'm assuming there's going to be another series.
Yeah, 1930, 1938.
Or well, if it's
Oh, 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 oh. Who won? Who won?
you're gonna know before me, unless I.
Okay. All right. I'm set. I'm okay with this.
You're okay with it?
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
Please tell me it's just not the morning show.
It's no, it's not the morning show.
No, thank
It's
God.
definitely not the morning show. You'll see it. It took me a minute to figure it out because I don't have the audio. It took me a minute to figure it out because I
Oh,
didn't know.
Succession?
Yeah, it's Succession.
Yeah, I kind of thought it would be Succession.
Yeah, it took me a minute to recognize it because I was just seeing the showrunners. I wasn't seeing any of the actors yet, but then I
Yeah.
started hearing Culkin, so I was like, "Oh, there. Okay, now I know."
Yeah, well, they were showing Succession as one of the last ones, going through the little thing, and
Well,
I
I
was,
think they did that just for alphabetical order. Although they didn't. Oh, well, I guess they did with the actors, didn't they? Well, not for best actor. Um, I
yeah,
do
they only,
feel,
I think they only did it for best TV show, or they're only doing it for movie. They're only doing the clips.
yeah, I did feel a little bit bad for Pedro Pascal because I thought he was great in The Last of Us.
Yeah,
Um, but I think, I mean, obviously Hollywood doesn't care about this stuff, but I think I think if it played a factor at all, the way that show ended probably takes his candidacy down a little bit.
mm,
But like you said, that's similar to your point on the Diplomat. Last of Us being a new series is probably not going to get an award right
yeah.
away.
It's almost like they haven't earned it or something when
Yeah,
for in like was the Diplomat a good show? Sure. Was it like phenomenal? Eh,
eh, yeah, yeah.
right?
I'm not upset about that. I'm not upset about The Last of Us. I'm not upset about the morning show. Um, I'm not. I can go either way in 1923, but in the sense that it's kind of either a pseudo continuous series or like we were just talking about going to get a renewal season. It'll probably have another chance one way or the other.
Yeah, I think so.
The crown is done. The crown
Hmm.
never won this category before.
Oh, it has. I don't know if it's ever won anything.
Because then obviously then that brings up the
It must have. I'm pretty sure it's won something in the past.
well, I figured it's won a cat, but like as far as the best series category.
I don't know. Maybe. I wouldn't. It went for 5 seasons, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh, was it five? I thought you told me it was six one back one time.
It was 4 or 5 minimum. So I'm sure it's one. And like that's the thing too is if a show wins, like I don't feel so if they've won in the past, it's
Yeah,
all right. Like at least they got their recognition.
yeah, and Succession, of course, in its last season, if it never won before that, obviously, it is a kind of a feel good thing that it's won.
Yeah, and I think that happens sometimes. What show was it a few years ago that won? And they had not won up until I think the last season. And I want to say it was on for years.
Was it? Is it Parks and Rec?
I don't know, maybe it was like a drama. I swear something was on for like 7 years or something crazy like that, and then they finally won.
Certainly
Maybe
wasn't Game of Thrones, I'm sure.
maybe this was a while ago. Maybe this was like 5 years ago.
um,
Because I used to religiously watch these award shows every season, and I don't think I watched the Golden Globes. Well, last year they canceled them, but the year before that, I don't think I watched them either.
Yeah. So before we start to wrap up, I know you got some movie points you want to make, and I got some quotes I picked out from the show. So where do you want to go in there before we
I
say?
don't know, just do yeah, a couple of your quotes.
The other ones, I mean, some of them I already mentioned, but one of it I thought was funny. So in Kieran Culkin one, he walks up, he holds the trophy, it's like, "Suck it, Pedro, this is mine."
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
So I got a kick out of that, and this one not necessarily for the quote, but for what happened after, when the MC was it
Joe
Joy
Coy.
Joe Coy, when he said that there's something like the difference between us and the NFL is the NFL has way more cameras to put on Taylor Swift, and
Yes.
they pushed it on Taylor Swift. And I swear I've never seen. I don't remember the last time I seen a death stare that intense. She's like sitting there sipping on her cocktail or whatever, and she is like staring him. She's like staring Joe Coy down, like like this man's gonna have the curse upon his name for 3 generations.
I don't know. I was again, I was looking at social media comments on that, and people were like, "Ooh, she can't take a joke," or blah blah blah. I actually thought that she was kind of playing into it when she heard her name mentioned. She's like, "I'm just going to take a sip of my thing and pretend I don't hear that." Like, I thought she was kind of playing along with it, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe she was really kind of miffed about it. I
I
don't know.
I mean I could see her doing like the Kermit the Frog thing, but she didn't do like the kind of nonchalant going about my business. She didn't have like that look on her face. Like her eyes were like like a death stare.
I thought she did kind of roll her eyes a little bit, or kind of like, as she, yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to interpret, like, especially when the comedian or the host is saying something and then they show the audience like which people are actually genuinely laughing and the other ones are just like politely laughing like and like really like
Yeah.
are angry about like what was it Jim Gaffigan said about pedophiles.
Oh, I thought Jim Gaffigan's open was a little awkward.
It was a little awkward with the pedophile thing because like I mean this is a whole room of people that like you're making fun of, but it wasn't really as clever or in the same vein as what Ricky Gervais did that one time.
Mhm. Oh
Kind of
yeah,
making
yeah,
fun
yeah.
of
I know
like,
what you're
oh, like
talking about. Yep.
because I think he made the same kind of jokes, but he was like, "Shut up, he's your friend. Epstein is your friend." Like like he was kind of being just very brutally honest, and Jim Gaffigan was just kind of making the joke, but not really like standing behind it.
Yeah.
Um, but it was a little awkward. But he was Taylor Swift did laugh at something he said. I can't remember what. Oh, he was like he made a comment about how the stand up award was the first time that they were offering it, and then he's like said something about oh, like when they told me that they were doing the stand up award, I realized it was the first time they were inviting people with actual talent.
Talent. Yeah. That one I did laugh
And
at.
she was yeah, she was actually like laughing out loud
Yeah, because
when
the
they showed
comedian's
her.
not trying to be anyone else. They're being themselves. They're right, and they're showcasing their own material as opposed to an actor, which is taking someone else's material and showcasing another person.
Yeah, and you can tell with the presenters too. Oh, this is probably funny. Uh Kristen Wiig and Will Ferrell.
That's
Um
Kristen Wiig. Oh my god, I did not recognize her.
That's Kristen Wiig, yeah. You can tell with the presenters which ones are good at, you know, playing off of each other and another person, and you can tell which presenters are just like, I am going to read what's on this teleprompter. Like,
Speaking of which, that's actually my last one. Then I was rolling when Ray Romano and Kerry Russell had their little back and forth where he's like, It's like my New Year's resolution. I'm going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
We don't do that in Hollywood. And he looks at Kerry Russell and he goes, "Yeah, you were great in the Americans. It was such a good thing." And Kerry Russell looks at him like, and yeah, everything you said was just great. And he goes like, "Well, what about the movie I made, the Queen's movie, last one in Queens or whatever his movie was?" It's like, yeah, yeah. And then he goes like, "You know what? The truth is stupid. We're in Hollywood. Let's do what we do."
Yeah, that was it, and I think the audience loved it too. That was an unlikely duo that like everyone loved. There's a couple others, I think. I can't remember.
Uh,
I feel like the Jared Leto one was like half good, half not.
yeah, it was a
I
little
feel
awkward.
like maybe it's just because he seems like he's too serious anyway.
Hmm.
So it's like, are you really joking? Because you seem like you're serious all the time.
Yeah.
He
Uh,
plays it way too serious.
we got some movie categories up, so there's not a lot of these that I saw, that a lot of movies that I ran out and see. So I'll let you take center stage on reacting to these. I did
What
see Air
is
though. I did see Air.
dream scenario? Oh, I heard bad things about Wonka. I heard it was a bomb.
A bomb.
Air, I heard good things about. Oh, these I haven't. These male nominees, I haven't seen any of these. Are these? Is this best supporting?
No, this is best. Well, actually, yeah, it probably is because
Yes, this is best supporting
Matt
because
Damon is definitely not the lead.
best actor is like Leo, Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper did do a great job with Maestro. I did see that one. Oh, but they already did that one because they did Killian Murphy one. They already did
Yes,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah. They always like pick like random big name categories to do right at the top of the show, and then they'll
Yeah,
rush.
usually maybe I'm thinking of the Oscars. They usually save like best picture is like the very
Right.
last award and then like best actor and actress I thought are pretty like they save it to the end because they want people to watch till the end.
Best actor and actress they always do save towards the end, but the two supporting categories they always announce very early.
They always do right away. Yeah. Oh, Paul Giamatti wins things all the time, so
Yes, he does.
he's been winning things for like 20 years.
Yeah, he's like the male Meryl Streep.
He won for I remember when I worked at the video store, what was that movie about like wine?
Oh, Sideways.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he won for that in what, 2005 or 2006 and he's been kind of winning ever since.
yeah.
So,
That's I think that's probably about when it was because I was working at the theater.
and I see I used to actually watch every single like best pick like every single Oscar movie aside from the, foreign language ones. Like I used to watch every single one. So sometimes it'd be like 20 to 30 movies and I would really try to get through a few every weekend and like that lady looks like she's going to pop out of her dress. Um
I think I know who you're talking about because I saw her earlier.
Divine,
Yeah,
what's her face, the
yeah.
lady that won. When they showed her at first, I was like, "Oh my!" I was like, "I don't know how her."
She's gonna have a wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, no kidding. She's like literally popping out of that dress. I don't know how
Hey,
they
it's
don't have to
Jim.
censor anything.
They showed uh, they showed Jim. Well, obviously because Emily Blunt was nominated for a category, so obviously he's there. Oh, what do we got now? Jodie Foster's coming out.
I feel like they let Paul Giamatti talk for a long time. How come they're not playing him off the stage?
Oh well, for all we know they he didn't talk for that long. For all we know they probably did. We just can't hear the audio. We're just not listening to the audio.
Well,
What?
I think they put it in the teleprompter like
Oh my god, I forgot what category it was. There was one category where the presenters came out and they started to read the announcers and they were too late, and the
Yes.
voiceovers started doing it first. I was like, ooh,
Yeah, was that best supporting? Because I think that Elizabeth Debicki, I think she was the first one, and she was like laughing. And they were
that
like,
could have been.
they were just like Elizabeth Debicki, and then what's her face? Julia, what's that? From Ozark, Ruth.
Oh,
Julia Garner. She was the one that she was like they cut her off. So she's like, ooh, and then like they just started reading the nominees, and Elizabeth Debicki was like laughing when they read her name because it was like, hey, that was awkward. That was a cutoff.
yeah. This is best motion picture. Uh, that's a comedy.
Yeah, musical or comedy.
Yeah, music or comedy. So May December, you liked or you did not like?
It was kind of weird, but it was not a comedy for sure. Not a comedy.
Yeah, there seems to, this almost. I almost feel like they're throwing things into this category to kind of like, okay, this isn't a drama, but we need to nominate it for something, so throw it in the comedy category.
Yeah, it doesn't really quite make any sense. I that was not.
It's like they need to update the name to not musical because none of these are musicals either. Oh, what is it? Which one is it? I see Mark Ruffalo happy. Which one? Which one's the Mark Ruffalo?
Poor Things. Oh, that movie
Oh.
looks so bizarre.
It looked bizarre just from the little clip they showed. Yeah, Emma Stone's walking up too.
It just it's one of those weird movies where just yeah, it's just weirdly written and just everything about it, the direction is just very odd. I just movies like that don't appeal to me.
Yeah, it looked like it had a very odd look to it. I mean, I kind of want to watch it anyway just to see because I kind of I don't hate when something's done kind of black and white like that, but uh,
I don't think it's the
it's
style necessarily. I think it's the acting and the like the way that the writing is done. Like it's meant to be a certain way. Like I don't know if you saw The Favorite, but I absolutely hated it. And I think I want to say it's the same director or same writer. There's something similar with it.
mhm.
So if you didn't like The Favorite, you probably would like I'm like I know for sure I would not like this movie. I wasn't gonna bother trying to watch it. I just it just did not look like something I'd enjoy at all.
Yeah. I don't know what just happened there at the end. They gave it seemed like they gave someone a shout out in the crowd, and a couple of people stood up and hugged each other, but they weren't part of the ensemble that went up on stage.
They just said thank you, Bruce Springsteen.
Harrison Ford is there.
He is?
Which I just saw him with Helen Mirren. So he's like he's just there to support his colleagues, I guess, because not only was Helen Mirren nominated, but so was Jason Segel.
Oh yeah.
So I guess he's just there in a supporting role because he definitely was not nominated. Well, we've done all our TV stuff, so I guess we could just hang around to find out the last couple categories,
Oh,
right?
it's yeah, only
They've
10
only
minutes.
they're only going to be on the air for another 8 minutes or
I
so.
think it's just best picture drama, right? That's all that's left. Or is
Yeah,
there
they didn't. Did they do best act? Yes, they did. Emma Stone won. Well, actually, no. That wasn't. She wasn't nominated in the drama category. Uh, they, that's probably only picture. It probably is only picture because they got to come back from break and they got to do. They got to show all the videos, which is probably
Oh,
does it.
best actress in a drama.
Okay, so they didn't announce it yet. All right. Okay. I didn't think I didn't think I missed it.
And Best Motion Picture Drama.
Right.
So for female actor, it's Annette Bening, Lily Gladstone from Killers of the Flower Moon.
Which
Uh,
I tried to watch that a few nights ago,
Killers of
and
the Flower Moon.
I thought it was an Apple show, and I went to Apple, and you have to pay to rent it, and I'm like, this can't be right.
No, it's Amazon. Well, it's on
Oh,
Amazon.
Amazon?
I
I,
don't know if it's I don't think it's made by Amazon, but
okay.
I was scrolling through, I think, and I saw that it was on Amazon, I thought.
I saw something that said it was that made me think it was Paramount.
Oh, I don't know. It is like 3.5 hours long though, so that's a painful one. Oppenheimer was 3 hours long, so I had to watch it in like parts yesterday, and that was kind of rough, but it was pretty good at times, slow at times, but
What was that movie that got a lot of Oscar love a number of years ago? Yeah, De Niro was in it. A lot of big
yes,
names were in it, and it was like really long. I think it was exclusive to Netflix.
yes, it was I can't think of the name of it. It was like 4 hours long. Leo
Yeah,
was in it, right?
yeah. A lot of big names in it.
Yeah, it was a Scorsese.
It was almost like the Departed cast.
Yes, it was a Scorsese, it was Leo, it was De Niro, and Pacino, Al
Yeah,
Pacino.
I watched it too. I can't think of the name.
I did too. I did too, and I can't.
Probably because it felt like a week before I finished it.
That one was that might have been 3.5. Did you watch the director's cut or the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, which was also like four
No,
hours?
I did not. I didn't. That one, well, because I've seen the director cut of Watchmen, which is another Zack Snyder movie, and I know how long that was. So I'm like, I don't want
Well,
to know how long
surprisingly,
Justice League is.
for being 4 hours long, it actually went pretty fast. Like it didn't really feel that slow. Like I didn't feel distracted, really.
Hey, there he is. I think that was Scorsese. Is that Don Cheadle?
Yeah, Don Cheadle.
I
He
don't know
must
why.
be really short.
He might be.
He might be like
Captain
5'5"
Planet
or
himself.
something. Well, she could also be wearing heels.
That's true. All right, here we go. Annette Bening, Lily Gladstone, Sandra Hewler, Greta Lee, Carey Mulligan.
I did. Carrie Mulligan was good in Maestro,
She
but
wins all the time. She's another Paul Giamatti type. Kaylee Spaney.
she does.
Yeah, I forgot what was the one she won where she had really short hair. It was an Oscar. It wasn't a Globe. Who won? Oh, okay. If it's even
I
if
don't.
it's
I'm not
you know
really.
what, even if it's 3.5 hours long, I think I gotta watch this.
That girl is from. Oh, Priscilla. This is
Did you see the winner yet? I don't want to say it if you haven't seen it.
no. I was trying to refresh my other thing. I don't even know a lot of them. Oh, the
From Killers of the Flower Moon.
she's a Native American actress, isn't she?
Oh, is she?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, I
pretty
can see it.
sure.
I can see it. Yeah, you know what? I don't care how long this movie is. I gotta watch it. It's getting too much praise. It'll wind up being an Oscar talk. I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Did they even announce the Oscars yet?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they announced
I
that.
think they do it
So,
shortly, like right after this time. So
mhm.
probably in the next couple weeks they'll announce who the nominees are. I don't know that I didn't watch the Oscars last year,
I don't remember if I did. I don't think I did.
and I definitely didn't watch in 2022 because that was the year that Chris Rock got slapped, and I was like, "What? I missed it." of
which I
course.
think was the biggest. I don't think that was real. I'm in the slap was fake camp. I don't think that remotely was real.
I think it was real, but it just the whole thing is just.
Well, it felt that the whole interaction felt staged, and then
I think people
Will
thought
Smith's
it was.
apology felt staged.
It was so well. His apology was just garbage, but uh, because of how awkward it was, that's why people I think thought that it was not real. But I just the whole like public relations campaign that Jada was on was just like messy where and where she was like, "Oh, well when he slapped Chris Rock basically like we'd been separated for like 7 years and like he hadn't even called me wife in years." And like then he went and did that cuz he was so mad. Like it doesn't really make any sense.
No, yeah, that's there's a lot of holes in that story. I let her talk a long time.
I feel like where your award is up in the chain, they let you talk for longer.
Yeah, it was. I found that was weird that best actor for drama was so early in the show.
Yeah, I that
Like
was kind of random.
I get if they're breaking them up, but like break them up within the same 20-minute block.
Yeah, that one I was very surprised that they announced that one so early.
It's like they're going over. It's all 30 seconds to 11, and they haven't done Best Picture yet. So it looks like they're
Yeah,
going over.
they're sometimes they're 10 or 15 minutes past.
Yeah, which I always find odd because these things are so formatted. Like for a live event, these events really are structured and formatted. So I always found it odd that they're always timed so poorly.
Because people always go over, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They only they spread the awards out and then it takes 10 minutes to give away one award and then they're wondering why they give 10 seconds for people to talk.
I think that's why they go over. I think you're right. I think that's
Yes.
why they go over. It's not the acceptance speeches. It's the presentation.
Right, just everything is so long and drawn out and it doesn't need to be.
Because like when people come up to do skits, not obviously not so much tonight, but when people come up with when they have the musical performances, like those, that's all planned time.
Yeah, well, the Oscars are even worse with time management.
Oh yeah, the Oscars are always a half an hour past whatever they're supposed to get off air. The local news has like 5 minutes to do their own show.
Oh, geez.
Wow, Bradley Cooper really pulled off a look for that, didn't he?
Yeah, people were mad about the makeup that he had for that nose.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm reading 824 like it was the name of the film. It's the name of the film, and I knew that. I know what 824 is. Oh, is this foreign language? This one's got subtitles.
I'm trying to think of what
Oh, oh, oh! Yeah, no wonder. I won't spoil it for you.
Oppenheimer.
I think it's Oppenheimer. Yeah, because I actually I don't know if I ever knew what Christopher Nolan looked like, but
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
saw him before I saw him before when he accepted his award. So I just saw him again now.
I'm kind of surprised that's the first time he's won for best director.
Um,
He's definitely they said this is he's been nominated. This is his I thought they said third or fifth nomination.
I'm surprised he's not won a Globe before. Like, it doesn't surprise me that he's not won an Oscar before. Um,
Oh, I don't know if
'Cause he
I don't
hasn't
know.
won an Oscar, right?
I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Is maybe he has won an Oscar, but not a Golden. But that wouldn't make
Which
any.
is weird. It doesn't make any sense. You'd think you'd win a Globe before you won an Oscar.
Well, also, didn't Scorsese not win anything for 20 years?
Scorsese did go a long time, but I don't remember if he was like a Leo situation where he never won, or if he had won so early on, and then
No, no. Yeah, I think he had never won. He'd been nominated for like 20 or 30 years and never won until
so
he
so
won for.
Departed. I think
Was it Departed?
I'm pretty sure it was Departed. I
No, it was
sure was it Departed
a later one.
or did Departed win maybe Best Picture but not Best Director? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe that's what I'm thinking
What was it? It was a Leo one. It
of.
was
I'm pretty sure Departed won something. Like,
it probably won
yeah,
something.
but I don't remember whether it was him or it was just Best Picture.
No, because I think the joke was I don't think he won until like 2012 or 2014 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, then it
I'm pretty
wasn't.
sure
It wasn't. If that's the case, it wasn't Departed.
it was a Leo movie though. I'm like pretty sure. He
Oh,
didn't
that's
do the he didn't do the Revenant, right? No, I'm thinking of that's the movie Leo
no.
one.
Well, that's when Leo won. No, Scorsese had one before that. I know that for a fact. Um, it's going to bother me, so I'm going to live
Yeah.
fact check it on air. It's really going to bother me, and this will probably be our last little topic before we give final thoughts. Scorsese. Uh, wait, where? Oh, there we go. Best director. Nominee. It was The Departed. I was right.
That was the first one he won?
It was 2007.
That long
Uh,
ago?
and then that's a nominee. That's a nominee. Nominee. Yep, that was his only win. Every else nomination.
Oh man. I
Uh,
mean, I think I've been watching these award shows probably since like maybe that was the first year I started watching them.
oh, actually, you know what? That was director. Departed was not director. Departed was
Best
Oh
film?
no, yes, I'm sorry, it was director. This isn't categorized by category. Yeah, winner best achievement directing. Yeah, because they have like right at the top of it, it goes director, motion picture director. Well, that wraps up their show. So, what are your final thoughts on this? What were you disappointed in? What did you like?
um,
What made you a little warm in the center?
I'm still disappointed about Peaches not winning. And no, I mean,
Oh God, now you're gonna have it stuck in my head for a week.
as far as I'm not gonna say it. As far as TV shows though, I mean I kind of feel like for the most part, like the ones who deserve to win won. I
Yeah, not a lot of.
generally
Yeah, there wasn't really a lot of controversy.
no, I'm kind of happy with it. I there weren't really any losses that or wins that I was like, ugh, why?
Hmm.
No, there weren't really any of those. I would say.
Yeah, and honestly, if I had to pick one of those three Succession actors in the Best Actor category, Roman would have been my choice.
Yes.
Like they're like Roman was just, and I think it's hilarious that he's basically just playing himself.
Yeah.
But he was like he just did such a good job of just playing a scuzzy little brother, spoiled little brother.
Yeah, and not that Brian Cox isn't good, but like he wasn't even in half the season.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, that's right, because he died at the end of season 4, right, or season 3, whatever the previous one was. Or five.
No, I mean He died like
Or there's
half of the way through.
half of, through the series.
Through like the last season.
Oh, okay. So it was that.
Like weren't there like 8 or 10 episodes and he died in like episode 4? So it's like
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember exactly when it was because he was such a looming presence on screen when he was in it. So for some reason, I was thinking it was like later than it was.
I can't think of him as anything else than the McDonald's voice now.
Really?
He's the McDonald's voice.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I think of him. I think of him from one of the X-Men films.
Yeah, from the like Pandora or Spotify ads. You hear that all the time.
That's
I'm
hilarious.
talking about Egg McMuffins or whatever it is.
Well, our final words, I guess, is we're not upset with any of these winners. And you
No,
know what? That's
not
a
bad.
good thing. Can't complain about that. Stay tuned. As always, keep it locked on Red and Red Real Reviews on all our platforms. Video right here as you've been watching on YouTube and Rumble. Audio, where are we? Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, and iHeartRadio. Follow my co-host at Binge the Gin, dots between the words on Instagram, one word on TikTok, and yours truly, Nutmeg to Palmetto, one word, number 2, on both Instagram and TikTok. Until the next real review or even live stream, Red and Red, signing out.
Signing